in this edition of WUCF Artisodes. Wearable art that's inspired by nature and designed to inspire.
I want to bring beauty to the world, and I want them to feel fabulous and unique.
And a fashion designer goes green.
Bringing together my talent and vision and experience with fashion with my devotion and love for the planet and for sustainability.
It's all coming up on WUCF Artisodes. Art, form, and function all come together in the creations of Ina Scholer, whose fashion journey began with her childhood in the Soviet Union.
I'm a fiber artist and I create wearable art. I use freestyle knitting and I use different fiber techniques as stitching, hand sewing, crocheting. It's mostly freestyle, so you never know what you're gonna get in the end. That's the beauty of that. I actually grew up in the south of Ukraine, the place called Sevastopol, so it's in Crimea. When I was growing up, it was Soviet Union. The government pretty much wanted us to be the same. So we have those very awful uniforms. So it was brown, it was awful. I never want to be the same like everyone else. I want to always stand out of the crowd. So since I was a child, I started to sketch the ideas for my clothes, and I had a seamstress lady. She was sewing things for me. It was amazing. And you know what? All my friends was always, where did you find it? Because you couldn't find anything in the stores. It was empty. Most of my inspiration comes from nature. I'm a big fan of nature, hiking, kayaking. I love to travel. I always have my sketchbook handy. It's always in my bag. But sometimes you go somewhere, you know, in the jungles, you don't have your sketchbook. So it's always nice to have your phone. So I would make some pictures, and later on after the trip, I like to go and see those pictures, start to draw and pick up the yarns, you know, just get all those balls of yarn that remind me of some beautiful flower. All my yarns are very luxurious. They mostly come from Italy, they come from France. They are very interesting texture. To start my project, I would have to gather some different yarns together. And I just start to work. I pretty much know what shape it's gonna be, but I don't know how the color is gonna end up, how the texture gonna look. So I'm just having fun with that. It's gonna come up as a surprise. And some of the pieces I have to hand sew after all, and then I have to crochet around the edges. So I use a lot of different skills for that. First of all, I want every woman to feel herself beautiful. So that's my goal. I want to bring beauty to the world, and I want them to feel fabulous and unique. And I just want them to be themselves, but showing something different, something unique. That's my goal is. I'm very happy that I moved to this country because I believe if you work hard, if you're creative, if you're passionate, you can succeed. Because in my country, I never thought about doing what I do for a living. I had a day-to-day job. I was a librarian, I was in the Navy, and I work in a bank. And that was always a hobby of mine. So here, I was able to not create a hobby, I was able to make living out of that. So I believe that America just made me who I am, and I'm very happy in this country. I really hope I'll be strong enough and healthy enough to do this till the day I die, hopefully. That's my passion. That's what I love to do.
As part of WUCF's American Graduate Initiative, Artisodes proudly honors our Student Artist of the Week as we bring awareness to the dropout crisis and encourage Central Florida's children to succeed.
My name is Emma Brandenburg, and I'm in 6th grade at Fairglen Elementary, and I love the violin. I started playing violin when I was 5. I watched a YouTube video. There was like an orchestra playing, and I really liked the violin in particular. I just like that it's fun to play, and you can make different sounds with it. You can make it sound sad, you can make a song sound happy. I like slow songs more than fast songs because I can put more feeling into slow songs. I'm sort of in my own world because I have to make sure my bow's going in the right direction, and I have to make sure it sounds in tune and make sure my fingers are in the right spot. Music makes me a better student because in music you have to count rhythms and you do math and music, and that actually has made me get an A this year in math.
Emma Brandenburg is a remarkable student. You hear teachers talk about like a once-in-a-lifetime kind of kid. She's one of those students for me. When she was first learning how to play violin, she was reading music right away. She's just someone that picks up like really complex skills. I started teaching at the school 6 years ago, so I've had Emma as a student since 1st grade. And I think Emma will do well in life no matter what she chooses. I know she's talking about right now, I think, going to medical school, and just watching her grow and blossom as a musician has been extremely rewarding.
Playing with the Brevard Symphony Youth Orchestra is really fun because everybody is serious and they go home and they practice the music and they play it correctly, and it makes it really fun. The violin will always be a part of my life because it's really fun, and playing it makes me really happy. Like sometimes I'll come home from school and I'll be like, man, that was a really bad day. And then I'll go practice, and 1 hour later I'll be like, this is the best day ever.
Artisodes congratulates Emma Brandenburg of Fairglen Elementary, our Student Artist of the Week. In her quest to create a unique style all her own, designer Kate DePara begins by applying her artistic touch to the fabrics she starts with.
I originally wanted to become a textile artist to develop a holistic approach to designing. Traditionally, a textile designer will create the textiles, and then clothing designers will come to market and purchase already printed or already designed textile. But I thought, how do you really create a vision of your own using someone else's artwork? My name is Kate DePara, and I'm a textile designer. A textile artist is someone who essentially applies color and texture to surfaces. Textiles are materials that are derived from fibers and yarns. So we have woven textiles, knitted textiles, and what we call non-woven. What I love about textile design is that I can start from anywhere. I can start from a drawing, a painting, a photograph. Working digitally, you can exercise a lot of different creative outlets. From there, I settle on a couple of themes. So themes that aren't necessarily particularly related to one another, whether it's a color or texture, an object. And then from there, I refine the concept over and over and over again. I edit. Editing is such a huge part of the process. From there, I actually marry the color and the texture with the textile and try to decide what will be a good fit and create the textiles with the season in mind, whether it's fall or spring. And then once I have the textiles in, I kind of reassess everything and feel them, touch them, see what the drape is like and what I think it'll look like on a final piece. And from there, I design the patterns. So I don't start with the muslin. I feel like starting with a fabric that has a different hand is really complicated, and it is completely different from the final product. It would probably be a lot more economical if I did, but I start with the silk and the cotton, and I go ahead and start cutting and make a first sample and then draft a pattern from that, and then edit the pattern several times and work with my pattern maker and seamstress on making a good fitting garment. I think our textiles are unique in that we are using a variety of different processes. So we're hand dyeing, screen printing, block printing, digitally printing. We're trying to use all of the different methodologies in textile design to get really unique effects. Each process has its own special sort of quirk or trademark, and I like to celebrate those. I want people to take away from my designs a sense of confidence, definitely comfort, and overall beauty.
Kim Ritter seeks inspiration in her everyday experiences, which helps her produce one-of-a-kind quilts.
Our quilts started actually in the 70s, sort of during the hippie days when people were going back to making whole wheat bread and tie-dye and all of that. So that's really where the art quilt movement started. I come to my studio every day and I sit and I just write and think of ideas and just make notes. I have a pile about this big of ideas and sketches that are waiting to be made into quilts. I'm Kim Ritter, and I'm an art quilter. An art quilt is basically a piece of art that's referencing the quilt form. So art is something, a creative visual work that comes from thought and becomes form. And a quilt is something that's 3 layers and is stitched together. So basically an art quilt is a creative visual work that is stitched and layered. The steps of making an art quilt are, first you have to come up with a design. I get the ideas and I pare down to one idea that seems to be right for the moment that I'm working in. And then I take the drawing and I scan it into my computer. So then finally I print out the quilt. Part of why I do the printing is I don't like piecing. It's a little bit of a cheat, but. So then after you actually have the quilt top, then you have to layer it in 3 layers. You have the top, the batting, which is the thick, soft stuff, and then the backing. And then you've got 3 layers. It's quilted with the thread you wanted and the colors you wanted. Then you take it off the frame and you have to trim it, and then you put on what's called the binding, which is what you see going around the quilts, the little thin edge. And then you're done. Well, cut off all the threads. I think my biggest inspiration for art quilts has been daily life. What I'm really well known for are my quilts that are about women. And so that has been really my focus for most of the time. I also do some things about pets. And recently, I guess all the reading of dragons kind of crept into my head, and I had a whole series of dragon quilts that just showed up from pen and had to go straight to being quilted because I just loved them so much. My dragons don't breathe fire, they eat cherries. I'm making my art quilts. I just love the fact that you get zoned in and all the other worries of the world go away when you're working on art. When people come and look at my work, what makes me the happiest is when I hear a little chuckle or see a little smile, and I can see the wheels turning in their head of connecting the title to the piece and kind of seeing what I'm trying to do. So that's really what I want them to take away, is a smile and something else to think about after they're done.
Alpacas come in many hues, as do the creations of designer Karen Moulier, and the two are not unrelated.
My name is Karen Moulier, and I'm a weaver. I weave mostly shawls and scarves. I started weaving to make scarves to go in our farm store for our alpaca business. I don't know if you can see the babies. Come here. You're not going to take it? It says, no, we're on camera. We're not going to do that. So I started with scarves, and it took me about 3 months to decide that I was going to do much more than scarves, because I found out that I really liked it. Oh, you guys made me nervous.
I know, I'm sorry.
It's all right. And these beads will coordinate to the petals I'm going to push to create this pattern, because it's a very long pattern. I took classes down at the Culture Arts Center downtown Columbus. I've been going down there for about 5 years. When I was in kindergarten, my mother taught me to sew. And so in the meantime, I have done every form of needlework there ever could be. You know, in high school, I did the flowers on my jeans and stuff like that. So weaving was next, you know. What else was there? Weaving, I love seeing the cloth come to life. You know, I love being able to see the cloth form and create the design. Alpaca is a very, very fine micron, and so it has the feel of more of a cashmere. So it's really awesome for scarves and shawls because it has a lot of drape. It's really, really warm, so you can make a lighter weight garment and have it still be warm, and it breathes. So I don't do a lot of dyeing. Every now and then, if I need something dyed, I might go down to the Culture Arts Center and use their dye room downstairs to do that. But mostly, I like to work with the natural colors of alpaca.
Anna Cohen creates clothes that are beautiful, functional, and planet-friendly, all while proving that, at least for her, you can go home again.
From the beginning, Anna Cohen seemed destined for a career in design.
People would ask about religion when I was a kid, and I would always say art and nature. And I would still say that. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
If art and nature have the power to direct lives, then Anna's story is, if not proof, then at least pretty convincing.
Yeah, that's great. Look that way just a tiny bit more with your face. Yeah, it's nice.
We've been building this bridge across urban and rural. So people who are hungry for a connection to the land and to the raw materials that come from the land that they're so removed from now being in an urban environment. That connection is really powerful. And I just became married to this idea of bringing together my talent and vision and experience with fashion with my devotion and love for the planet and for sustainability. That's such a buzzword, but really meaning the natural balance and respect for all life. And I realized I couldn't do that in Italy. I needed to go home where I learned this stuff to begin with.
Anna returned to Oregon and designed a line of fashions made of bamboo fiber and a collection that was to become known as the Canary Dresses. But the combination of too much attention focused on too few resources, coupled with the economic downturn, meant Anna had to close her doors in March of 2008. But even as that door closed, another one opened. The Imperial Stock Ranch in north central Oregon has been growing Columbia sheep, a breed developed in Oregon, since the late 1800s. When the bottom fell out of the commodity market in the late 1990s, Imperial owners Jeannie and Dan Carver had to get creative. They worked with weavers, artists, and chefs to develop niche markets for their sheep and wool products, all with a commitment to environmental sustainability and stewardship. By 2008, the Carvers were ready for the next step and began looking for a designer that shared their ethos.
So Jeannie invited my mom and I to the ranch. It was a beautiful drive down the gorge and then into the beautiful Oregon high desert. And Dan and Jeannie met us up on top where you can see multiple mountain ranges. And we went through the whole tour of what they were doing and hearing the history, and I was so blown away. And I just thought, what is happening here is really important, and I want to be of service to this. I have to be part of this.
If Anna weren't convinced already, what happened next, you might say, sealed the deal.
And we went back to the headquarters and sat down and had a conversation about the opportunity. And Jeannie interrupted us all at one point and pointed out the window. She said, "Look, there's this amazing yellow bird I've never seen before." And Dan confirmed that that was a wild canary. And it was like the biggest message I could have had.
What it began was a relationship of her working with us and then connecting with our weavers to develop the fabrics which would inspire her to design apparel. And we put together the Imperial Collection by Anna Cohen. And with this collection, we headlined Portland Fashion Week in 2009.
Since then, Anna has been designing both cut and sew as well as fashion knitwear for Imperial's variety of yarns. Her process begins with a sketch that is then translated into a pattern and knit up into a garment. Whether for a knitting pattern or an off-the-rack garment, Anna's designs begin with the wool.
This is a swatch of this. So this helps me see, okay, it's really this dense. It has this kind of drape. It has this kind of hand. So then I can go from there and begin to think about how to use that yarn in a more creative way. All of these are tools that help me visualize the process, what I'm connected to, being the ranch and the sheep, and remember what this is all about.
For more than 100 consecutive years, sheep have been shorn in this building. The raw wool is then milled into yarn and returned to the ranch for distribution. Once Anna and her team have created a finished garment, she brings it back to the ranch to create the marketing materials that complete the connection between urban and rural, local and international.
I love the ranch. I love it here. It's the most incredible place. I am working with this wool from Oregon, from my home. Beautiful. And that wool is so soft and luscious. It's a beautiful, renewable resource. It's almost like the wool belts us all together as a global community. And I feel honored to be part of it. And I feel called to be part of it. It just feels right.
Money shot.
We got it.
That's all for this week on WUCF Artisodes. Thanks for watching. For more arts and culture, visit our website at wucftv.org/artisodes, where you can find feature videos and more.